Titty, 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 fuck. Titty, 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 pond ass, fuck ass, pond ass. Fuck ass, fuck cast, pondcast. Fuck ass, pondcast. So, part 3 of waking up on Tuesday. Back on the previous subject. I might edit all these together. Who really knows? I may not. I don't give a fuck. So, talking about Mr. Daniel. Probably shouldn't be. But I am. I talk about personal stuff on here. And then halfway through, sometimes I'm like, this isn't personal for me. But anyway, so Friday morning, I was out there in his neighborhood with DVDs. And long story short, from before, I just cut it down to got his DVD hooked up, didn't have any DVDs. He had one DVD I knew about, and it was that 70s show, and it was in there. And he's like, I don't watch that show. Alright, so, well, then in my head, I'm like, where'd you get this DVD player? Or, he got a bunch of stuff from his landlord, like this previous one, because he had shit that was fucked up, and they took forever to fix it, so he had a bunch of extra furniture. He gave him some nice-ass furniture, too. So, then he texted me, no, man, I got enough DVDs, because I was out there with a bunch of them, and he's like, no, I got enough DVDs. That's a nice Jeep. I would drive the fuck out of that Jeep, even though it's probably like 2 miles a gallon. But anyway, that guy beating off the back of his head. I don't know if you can see that. So anyway, he's like, no, I got somebody coming. I'm gonna get some pussy today. And I'm like, okay. So like, is she gonna stay or is she gonna be there all night? And he's like, I hope she's here all weekend. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I mean, I hadn't told him yet that the lady he had me just text a few hours ago. Maybe he forgot. I don't know. I was all pissed off, like, motherfucker. I feel like I did the impossible when I wasn't even gonna set out to ask her to begin with. Like obviously, like fucking whatever. So we were gonna come out. So I text her. I'm like, well, now I guess he's got someone coming over, and I haven't even said that we were gonna come out there at 9 yet because I've been busy, and I wanted to try and figure out how to say it to him in a way that didn't make him think you were just gonna come over and jump on his dick or something. It's like, fuck. It's like, motherfucker. Goddamn. So she's like, it's alright. I was really dreading going out there anyway. I was like, I understand completely, no worries. I think that was pretty much the last time I talked to her that day. I texted Daniel, like, man, is the bleeding at least stopped in your ear? And I texted him several other things, like, you alright? You still there? And I didn't hear from him again all fucking weekend. In fact, I didn't hear from him again all weekend. So I'm like, fuck, man. So I was kind of thinking about going out there, but I had Lily. I watched Lily on the weekends because Beth works. So Lily's my daughter's name. Beth is the woman why the fuck she married me, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm lucky, so I mean, hey, count my blessings, right? So, man. So then it's a 4-day weekend, so we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and all that shit happened on Friday. And I was thinking about, texting him off and on, probably being an annoying woman. Apologies, women. Probably being an annoying, clingy person, because I guess, obviously, men and women both do it. Being an annoying, clingy person, texting him I don't know how many times I texted him, probably 10 or 20, maybe 25, I don't know. Trying to figure out, you alright, man? What the fuck? Shit's going bad, and then you disappeared, and you had bleeding in your ears. This is all fucked up. So then, the first day of work, Tuesday, comes around, he's not there. No call, no show, no answering my phone calls, no answering Mark's phone calls. Like, fuck. I told Mark about some of the shit that was going on, and I was worried about him. In fact, I think no, I don't remember if he took Thursday off before that or not. I honestly don't remember. Because he'd been taking days off here and there lately and his way of taking his time off was on the day of telling me, nah, don't pick me up, I'm taking today off. Or calling Mark in the morning, man, I'm taking today off. Like, he's like, man, that's not how you take days off. You plan that shit. And Mark was getting really pissed off. And on Tuesday, he didn't call, didn't show up. And I couldn't stop out there after work because, and I didn't go out there to try and pick him up because I'd been giving him rides to and from work a lot because I was so mad at him for Friday. And I thought maybe he just wasn't answering me because he knew I was mad at him. So Tuesday I was just butthurt and mad about Friday. Because I felt like I got thrown out there, talking to a stranger. And luckily for me, and I guess him, it went well. But then I was just like overthinking all that shit. And then Wednesday, he wasn't there again. And Mark and I were like, this isn't right. Something's fucking wrong. So at noon, I went out there. Because we were talking about it. He's like, go ahead. Take a lunch and go out there. And I was alone in the warehouse, obviously, because it's just me and Daniel. And I'm like, all right. So I went out there. And there was if you walk out of Daniel's door, the other side of the fence, because there's a chain link fence on that side of the property of the apartment place he lives in. And on the other side of it is this big-ass yard. That belongs to the house that's up there that's been vacant for a while. And there was a guy that was working on the house. And I was knocking on the door. I don't knock. I mean, my hardest knock is usually people's lighter knocks. Well, for a house like that, because it's like one open room, small room, and then a small bedroom in the back. But he doesn't sleep in the bedroom. He almost never goes in the bedroom. So there's no reason to knock hard. He can hear it. So and honestly, if he was asleep, he's been having a hard time sleeping. And I know how hard it is when you have a hard time sleeping. If you fucking get woke up and you have to go back to sleep, or you finally got sleep and now you're fucking woke up again. But I tried for a good 20 minutes or so, off and on. And during one of the times I was waiting to see if maybe he was coming to the door, I thought I heard someone say come in, but the door was locked. So there's no good. I'm not going to break in. It's more like I'd be trying to get a window open or something, break it, and then all kinds of more trouble. We all got enough trouble in our lives. We don't need extra trouble. So, fucking, I was talking to the guy that was working on the house, like, hey, have you seen anybody come and go from here? He's like, no, I've been here a few hours, and that's been, like, nobody lives there. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, were you here yesterday? Yeah, I was here most of the day yesterday. I was like, all right, and was anybody coming or going from there yesterday? And he thought about it, and he's like, I didn't see it, but I was pretty busy. I was doing a lot more stuff inside the house yesterday. I was like, all right, I appreciate it. Because he leaves his door open a lot, so. Because he talks to his neighbors and shit, and they bullshit and go in and out of each other's house bullshitting and all that. It's pretty cool. But, so I go back and tell Mark, I couldn't get him to come out, I don't know. Came back, went right back to doing stuff because I had shit to do at work since I was the only one. And he came out and he was like, all right, I'm going to go check. All right. So Mark goes and I told him, hey, bang on the door like you're the fucking cops. Just fucking, because I didn't like bang on it real hard. Because by then we were real worried and I didn't give a fuck if he was still sleeping. Because it was getting later in the day, like 2:30. And so Mark was able to get him up. And, or he just saw it was Mark and thought maybe I was there mad at him or something. And so, because Mark has done a ton for him, so he'll answer the door for Mark no matter what, I'm sure. So, Mark gets in there. It's almost 10 minutes again, so I'm just going to shut it off and start recording again. So I love titties.